Salman, come on. Does your name matter? Master of ceremony, fellow people with names. I attended an event with one of my best friends. Thankfully, she's here today. It was an IDN event and it was fully packed. When we reached there, we couldn't even see the stage. We were just only hearing somebody speaking from the speakers. And as they were speaking from the speakers, the speaker was dynamic, enthusiastic, and he spoke proudly. Najla said, somebody speaking like that must be a young Western man. As we came closer and closer to the stage, the speaker was an MC who was mid-age, chubby, and Bahraini. We had a good time in the event. And as we were leaving, there was a big traffic in the parking caused by an orange Nissan Micra. And the driver was so bad. He was like back and forth. And Najla again, like she always do, she was saying, such a driver must be an Indian old woman. I looked at Najla and said, okay. We drove through and we did the usual driver way, look at the person driving. And the driver, to our surprise, was the same MC. Now that strokes something in my heart. Why would Najla think when he was speaking so proudly, he was a Western young man, and the driver was bad, she said, Indian old woman. What does nationality, age, gender have to do with anything when it comes to performance? So I did another experiment, and that experiment was online. I went to Twitter, and when I went to Twitter, I started typing random names, which I Googled, and I asked people, what do you think this person do for a living? So the first person was Martin Stevens. You want to take a guess what he does? Anybody? All right, people said he's a book writer. Reality is, he works at McDonald's. The next person was Aswin Gupta. Anybody want to take a guess? What does Aswin does?
Engineer?
IT. That was the answer on Twitter. By default. Who's Aswin? He's the global president of Nissan Corporate.
Wow.
Third name, Alexander Alejandro Alchavo.
Drug dealer.
Exactly. That's what people saw on Twitter. Reality is Alexander Alchavo is drug dealer, smuggler, and a murderer. So that was good. Ladies and gentlemen, people are not brands. You cannot just simply put a name tag, Lacoste, Gucci, Rolex, and all of a sudden, that price tag makes them valuable. People, when they're born, their names doesn't matter. Best people in the world, when they were born, their name didn't matter. People like Malcolm X, his name when he was born didn't matter. People like Mahatma Gandhi, when he was born, his name didn't matter. Dr. Ralph Smedley, when he was born, his name didn't matter. They made their name matter. And if you give a fair opportunity for people, regardless of age, nationality, gender, you may be surprised with the results. Back in 2014, I used to work as a sales manager for Infinity. And when I was working there, I had a limited space to display my cars. I had only 8 space to put my cars next to next. And when I was going there, the lineup started to increase. We went from 8 car lineup to 10 cars. And I was thinking, how can I fit more cars here? So I called my sales staff. And they came and, how can we fit 8 cars in a space of 10 cars? They told me, boss, it's not possible. It's already contentious. How can you do that? It's not possible, boss. In the back, there was a cleaner. His name was Satya. He was mopping the floor. So I called him, Satya, He came running. Yes, sir. I asked him, Satya, how can we fit more cars in this place? He took his looked aside. He told me, sir, we can put 12 cars here. The salespeople looked at each other and they went, oh, there's a cleaner nose. For our surprise, Satya had a God-given engineering eye, and he could measure the space so accurately that we managed to put 13 cars in that aircraft, and it didn't feel cluttered. And from that day till today, we don't move a car in or out unless we consult Satya. Ladies and gentlemen, I refuse to let age, gender, nationality determine my heights. I'm Anas Abdullah, and I'm gonna be the greatest CEO in Bahrain. I'm Anas Abdullah, and I'm gonna be a PhD holder. I'm Anas Abdullah, and I'm going to be the world champion speaker, and I'm gonna make my name matter. And I invite all of you to never ever judge somebody based on age, gender, nationality, or judging just because you heard his name. Because everybody, given an opportunity, names matter, including you. Back to you, Master Salman.